What's up, guys? Welcome to Joy of the Trade. This is my weekly wrap up, and I am ready for this week to wrap up. It's been awesome in the stock market, but the rest of life has been stressful. It's been a roller coaster ride. It's been emotional. It's been mostly just like tiring for me. I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready for a little bit of a break. Anyways, let's talk about the stock market. It's been an historic stock market rally presidential election week. I think this is the biggest one in 75 years, is what I heard, something to that effect. But either way, impressive, uh, amazing. I can't come up with enough superlatives to show, but luckily I had a lot of good positions on. They went back to growth. They went back to the stay-at-home stocks. They went back to the big winners of 2020, and I think that's a story that's going to continue to play out. And that's been my mantra, and that's something you're going to continue to see. People are going to chase the winners into the year end. That's what we do. That's what psychology insists we do as mass. That's what portfolio managers do. That's what traders do. So just know that. Just understand that. So the key is now knowing levels and timing into these things. But let me show you some things that I'm looking at. We can go from there. All right. So let's first take a look at this historic week here. S&P S&P 500, the SPY, up 6.7% this week. Russell 2000 up 5.8%, and the NASDAQ, the big winner, up 8.5%. That is nothing to sniff at, boys and girls. These are colossal moves. These are year moves. I think the S&P averages 6.5% historically in a year. We did it this week on the upside. It happened this week. So you got to play. You got to be in the game. You can hate the game, but you got to play the game. It reminds me of an old saying: don't hate the player, hate the game. Here we go. Let's look at what were the best and worst sectors so far this week as I sit here on a Friday morning. Semiconductor equipment up 14%. Now this is, pre-Friday action, so take that into account. But Monday through Thursday's close, semiconductor equipment, healthcare, application software, internet, semiconductors again, technology, it's all tech, basically all tech and healthcare. And then look what's been terrible: construction material, basic materials, retail REITs. Not so bad, down 1.5%. This construction materials really stands out. Oil and gas down 1%. But these are things to pay attention to this week. It's important information to know. What didn't rally this week might have a hard time the rest of the month, might have a hard time the rest of the year, but we know they're going to go after these bad boys. We have a really high degree of confidence that they will. And let's look at what's looking saggy still. Oil. I've been bearish on oil. I've been talking about this. Look at this chart. It's starting to roll over. It's having these bounces, but with lower highs. Trend is down. I think we're going to break 35 soon. We bounced off 35. I think we're going to break it to the downside once this next week, a little bit of the election afterglow is going to start to fade, and we're going to be dealt with the reality of increased COVID cases, a president-elect that is hopeful. Well, if it gets consummated this weekend, a president-elect that is pro-shutdown, pro-mask wearing, pro, and that's going to get priced into oil, in my opinion, relatively quickly. So we see oil break 35 next week, some point, probably head back towards 30, in my estimation. And now let's look at the opposite. Now, this is something that I want you to pay attention to. Look how stretched the NASDAQ is on the upside. And you're like, how can you play this? It's so stretched on the upside. But what you got to realize is that this move here in the 90s, when the NASDAQ went from 1,000 or 1,500 to 5,000 in a couple of years, was actually even more stretched in terms of percentages. This is a doubling. That was a tripling and quadrupling. And so both times we came really, really, really big spread off of the moving averages, and that makes me nervous. I think you're going to get some rocky pullbacks, but I think the rocky pullbacks will probably commence in 2021 when you start to see some of the policies roll out. But until then, this could get a lot crazier, boys and girls. And so you just got to trust your skills. You got to trust your trading skills, and you got to trust your eyes. But it can get a lot crazier. People are always talking about how much higher can it go? Oh, it can go a whole lot higher. So something to remember. Have a great weekend, guys. I expect a lot of turbulence next week. I think that when you have a big move like this, it's not uncommon to have some digestion. or indigestion, if you will, depending on which way you're looking at it. So we're gonna have to consolidate probably for a few days. You're gonna see some, whatever holds up next week. I'm gonna have my eyeballs on, but I hope you guys are properly sized. I hope you don't have too much risk. I hope you guys are in the right names. If you're not, check out my service. Monthly Money Flows just came out for November, and Money Links. We have some kick-ass Money Links on right now. We've got some stocks that are ripping, like DraftKings. We've got stocks in the monthly money flows that are exploding, like Zillow. So check it out. Sign up. You will not be disappointed. Have a great weekend, guys. Take care of yourselves. Unplug, uncharge. Take care of your health, your happiness. The market will be there again for us to trade next week. LFG.